This is incidents 5 and 6. It is 25th of October 2022. It's a Tuesday. To be clear, because these two are nowhere near as big as 4. They're about the same. Maybe even less than 1, 2, and 3, maybe. But both of them have come on because of the mental impact that Incident 4 left. So, but it's at the end of the day. I'll get into it then. Had an assembly this morning because today is the school's 25th anniversary. It's nothing worth celebrating. The past 6 years I've been going there, it's been crap. You know, you're celebrating crap. I don't know how good or bad the school was before I started going there, but I would assume that it's the same, if not worse. Anyway, I read all day, and after break, someone came to have a talk about like driving or something. I didn't care. I'm pretty sure they said it was optional. So while I was in the same room, I wasn't paying attention. I was reading instead. And when the talk was over, and everyone who had class went to class, the male head of year told me to move because I was sitting at the side. The reason why I was sitting at the side is because I was one of the last people to enter the room. So, like, there are 5 rows, 3 of them are in the middle. Or not columns. Oh, columns, yeah. 3 of them are in the middle. There's one to the left and one to the right. And you're supposed to fill up the middle 3. And then once they're all filled up, you fill up the sides. So I filled up the sides because there was no more space in the middle. But the teacher told me to move. And I did. I was like, I was there because, I explained why I was at the side. It's like, sorry, shouting at me. I'm doing what you're asking me to do. Stop shouting at me. I'm not shouting at you. I've asked other people, and they said that he was shouting at me. And it was about 25 minutes later, but I felt like 5 at most. When we were going home, my water bottle started leaking. People who were behind me told me. So I took it out because it was basically full. I didn't drink much the entire day. Instead of drinking it because it's too much, I would piss myself on the bus. Probably before I even got to the bus. I decided to empty it on the grass. And a teacher who I had a lot of respect for in GCSE, well, mostly just year 11, but teacher I had a lot of respect for, shouted at me for doing it, and not allowed to do that. I'm supposed to do it in the drain that I didn't know existed in our school. And the reason why I did it on the grass is because they do it all the time with their tea. Like, I'm always seeing teachers throwing tea onto the grass. She said, I explained why I was doing it, and she said, oh, throw it in the bin. I can't throw it in the bin. I'm reusing it. Throw it in the bin. I explain again. Throw it in the bin. I explain again. Well, that's when she said to put it in the drain. And because I nearly missed my bus, so I couldn't put it in the drain because I don't know where the drain is. And even if I asked you where it was and I went to it, it would take too long. So I already had most of it empty. I carried it all the way onto the bus, and when I got on the bus, I just chucked the rest. Yeah, that's it for the entire day. Be Cool, universally negative ratings. I watched it on DVD. Vince Vaughn, The Rock, Uma Thurman, John Travolta, Cedric the Entertainer, Andre 3000, Danny DeVito, Harvey Keitel, James Woods, Paul Adelstein. Scott Adsit. I would have said it was. It's alright. I would have said it was good, but it it feels like it's trying to be a black movie, like maybe made for and made for and by black people, but it feels like a white person trying to do it. Although, as far as I know, the director is black. Yeah. This Twitter as of 8 past 4 p.m. How do you last plans its partnership with Kanye West? We already knew that because if they didn't, it would have been cancelled. Global house price slump is coming. We already knew that because of Boris. May Allah trending in politics. You're kidding. Okay, what's he doing now? Yeah, that's true. Oh, look at that. Rishi Sunak. Member of World Economic Forum.
Mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin, and so on. They all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So just mention our name.
That's just great. So now Klaus Schwab owns the entire world. Klaus Schwab, aka Dr. Strangelove. Oh no, that's the same thing. 96 million. So if they damage the painting, they've caused 96 million pounds worth of damage. Like, they will get a life sentence. Henry Cavill is returning as Superman. Good. Although, we've known this for a couple of weeks now. We've suspected it for a couple of years, except for that time when they said that they were going to kick him out and replace him with Michael B. Jordan just so that they have a black Superman. Ooh. Oh well, he must be a good person then, because Rishi Sunak loves Star Wars. I also love Star Wars, and I hate Rishi Sunak, but now because we love the same thing, I now all of a sudden love him. Mr. President, Ukraine needs billions of dollars in more aid. Who's going to pay for this? I've got bad news for you, Alex Jones. It's a couple of days old now, but I saw Friedman's cartoon on it yesterday, and it was like, yeah. You owe us $1 billion. Put it in this Alex Jones was wrong jar. And Alex says, you'll find the money at these coordinates. So go to the coordinates. It's a massive jar full of money saying Alex Jones was right jar. gonna be amazing watching the left completely flip from supporting Twitter's right to set their own terms of service to advocating for governmental control of Twitter due to spreading dangerous disinformation and national security reasons once Elon Musk takes over. Twitter should be as broadly inclusive as possible, serving as a fair forum for lively, even if occasionally rancorous, debate between widely divergent beliefs. Now, what if I post the evidence that you are a bad person, Elon? Globalism. The belief that events in one country affect those in all other countries and the economic and foreign policy should benefit the world as a whole instead of individual countries. Both political parties favor globalism, free trade, and more open borders. Now, from that definition, I agree. I feel like that we should benefit everyone instead of a certain group of people. But maybe the definition has changed, I don't know. For those of you that are willfully misinterpreting my use of the word globalist, here's the Oxford English Dictionary definition. Yeah. I'm confused. How is this a bad thing? I'm not, whatever. Now, when people like Nigel say the word globalist, sorry, this is a terrible chair, it's not my usual chair. When people say the word globalist, usually they mean someone that would to have the entire world run by one person, and yeah, that is a bad thing. But from this definition alone, globalism sounds like a good thing. Americans, we can't afford food. The White House.
This is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love it.
This is...
The humiliation is the point. What's happening? This looks like Katy Perry and me. Oh, it is Katy Perry.
Make even more noise for my band.
No, but seriously, what the hell is this? Is it possible to be kind of tired, but not so tired to the point where both of your eyes close, only one closes? State of Britain's borders is now utterly shambolic. We have a new Prime Minister in the UK, unelected by British people or even the Tories. He didn't give a single debate, every year statement about what his programme is. Well, he did say that people who criticise the government are terrorists. All we know is he's stinking rich and worked for Goldman Sachs. But hey, he's the first non-white PM. Don't forget, he's also the first, what was it? First Hindu PM, first PM of Indian descent, and youngest PM. And he's also a Star Wars fan.
Mastriano was at the insurrection and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors for people. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol police
Unarmed
officer.
female veteran.
That's the only one that died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No, it was a stroke.
That's
not on site.
Caused by that. That's because he shouldn't have been a police officer. It was one woman.
So what do you make, though, overall of January 6th? I mean, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's action.
Yeah, it looked a lot, except on a much smaller scale. It looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I saw the similarities to
around the
be.
country, not
Minneapolis
just one.
burns. Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay
Waukesha
just because one side that you disagree with.
I'm
it's
saying
okay
Antifa
for-
No, I'm saying it's
infiltrated.
good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody
I
who
don't see it that way.
anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're
on
there
either side.
making your voice heard at the people's house, no less,
Yeah.
that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen. And people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And the other ones that were the opposite.
Was the protest legitimate in your eyes
Administration,
because
I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him
I
personally.
don't think so,
I
no.
don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking. I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be the last time I ever saw Trump with Little Diana.
So did he tell everybody to go and start riding?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually, I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did. Mm-hmm. And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol, we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross barriers.
MSNBC tries to push the January 6th scam on a focus group, and they're not having their nonsense.
Something really sad happened in my family over the weekend. My sister died. She was 58. Her name was Suzanne Crosley, and she died suddenly on Friday of a heart attack. Something.
Rest in peace. I don't know why Paul's retweeting this, because like there's no actual comment to this. The caption just is what is the description of the video. Like, Paul would only retweet this if there's like a conspiracy theory to like they killed Megan's sister or something. Like, I mean the government, but there's no conspiracy theory here. And I don't know what Megan's views are, because I know that she was on Fox News, but then she left because Roger Avery was a sexist prick. More than a sexist prick, he was a fucking pervert. But, she left, and I think she's doing left-wing stuff now. I don't know. I only know this from the movie Bombshell, which I didn't like it, to be honest. And what's someone calling a celebration? Reverse colonization. Jesus Christ. Reverse colonization. India's second largest newspaper lauded Rishi Sunak becoming Prime Minister of Britain, asserting that the country is now in the hands of an Indian. But I mean, I bet that if Rishi were to go to India and talk to the average Indian person on the street and be like, "What's up, my Indian brothers and sisters?" They'd be like, they basically be like, "You are not a proper Indian because he's British, he's English Indian, he's of Indian descent. He wasn't born. He's culturally British." So they would be you have English privilege. You need to watch your English privilege. Corporate messaging over the last 4 years, it's been more than 4, Candace, has been that every black feeling is valid because Black Lives Matter, even though that resulted in our neighborhoods being destroyed. Now those same corporations are telling black talent to shut up or lose everything they have. Two-time failed presidential candidate and Russian collusion conspiracy theorist Hillary Clinton has a new warning for Americans. Right-wing extremists are planning to steal the 2024 election. Shit's a broken record at this point. In another deranged broadcast on MSNBC, Talking Head compared GOP candidates to Hitler in the 30s Germany and Americans who vote Republican to Nazis. Links between Just Stop Oil and investment firms, millionaires in Hollywood. Through the financial filings, one can see how art attackers receive money from the super rich, all tax-deductible charity payments. Well, the people that are actually throwing, like, the stuff at the paintings, like, the members of Just Stop Oil, I don't think they're doing it for tax payments and all that. I think that they genuinely believe that they're doing some good here. It's just that they're being fooled by the millionaires. You know, the millionaires paying them going, yeah, fight the good fight, I support you, when really they're just using it for their own aims. Oh, let me blow my nose. Anyone saying globalist as a term on abuse is using an anti-Semitic slur and shouldn't be invited to appear on radio, TV in any capacity. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you believe that the term globalist is an anti-Semitic slur, you are anti-Semitic because you believe that all rich people are Jews, which isn't true. Globalist means someone who places the interest of internationalism above the interest of their own country, in many cases harming the sovereign interests of that country. How is it any different from nationalist, also used as a pejorative, but apparently that's just fine. In 2015, a few months before she met Prince Harry, Meghan visited Malta to learn more about her ancestors, and she described the experience as fitting in a piece of the puzzle. During her stay, she immersed herself in Maltese culture, customs, attire, cuisine, and other aspects. Meghan said the coming to Malta had been significant to her since my great-great-grandmother lived here and that she'd been trying to trace her ancestors with for a very long time. If you want to retrace her steps on your own journey to Malta, keep reading. In 2015, she claimed she was Maltese. Now she's claiming to be 43% Nigerian. To stop using cultures and race for clout, you lying odious woman. Wall Street Journal reports that sources inside the Saudi government have claimed that the country's leader, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, privately mocks castmate by Biden and has questioned his mental fitness to be US president. Black people talk about killing one another, approved for the airwaves. Black people talk about aborting their offspring, approved for the airwaves. Black people are associated with VA, not approved. We are saying nothing and being attacked and threatened. The podcast episode is up. Former England and Southampton footballer Matt Tisler joins me to discuss why he chose to risk his TV career by becoming outspoken on controversial issues and why he was ousted by Sky Sports. World's dirtiest man dies in Iran at 94, a few months after first wash. Gentlemen, I regret to inform you that person finally had his first bath and then died a few months later. Remember when my videos used to look like this? I might keep this. I've put on a blue light filter on my phone so I can should make it easier to fall asleep. I've also turned night mode on my phone. I just have it on Twitter and Reddit when I had it. But now I have it on for everything, so like when I check the date, make sure I'm correct, and it was like this instead of it looking light. Anyway, this DMs as of 22 on my phone, but it's 24 on my tablet, 22 past 5 p.m. Dylan tried to call me at 6 past 2, but I was busy watching Be Cool. Is Overwatch based or cringe? I didn't mention this in the school segment, but my mate was asking me if The Road was based or cringe, and I said it's about 50%. And then he emailed me in the middle of that driving thing, asking what if he was based or cringe. I sent my link to politicalcompass.org, told him to do the test, screenshot it, and the result and sent it to me. He came back as a Nazi. I said, you're a Nazi, you're cringe. Anyway, I replied to Dylan, haven't played it in years, but what is it? Based or cringe? From an outsider's perspective, it is cringe. But when I get enough space, I will play Overwatch 2, although you should know I'm not a fan of multiplayer games. Well, I disagree. Also, has your stuff dried? I think so. Because the water. Good man, also tell friend to play Overwatch. So I messaged friend saying, Dylan wants you to play Overwatch. No. Dylan said, well, don't tell him I said you, incompetent swine. He says no. The mate said cringe. I said he called you cringe, and then he replies with this. I then screen recorded that and sent it to the mate. I'm sorry if you find the blue light filter annoying, but if it helps me, I'm keeping it on forever.